Hi guys, up to now what we have studied is we have represented control systems in terms of block diagrams where we have represented each subsystem or each component in the control system by a transfer function, and then we have connected those subsystems in a particular configuration to get the entire control system. We saw what are open loop and closed loop systems, but now what we will see is we will see an alternate way of representing a control system in terms of signal flow graph. Okay. So here, as the word graph comes, you might have already studied graph theory. There what we were doing is we were representing networks by network graph. There, each element in the network or each component like resistances were being replaced by branches. Okay. Here also in the similar manner, each block will be replaced by a branch, and the transfer function of that block will be called as gain of the branch. Okay. Gain is basically transfer function. So instead of transfer function, here we will call it as gain. So gain of each branch is equal to transfer function of that block. Okay. So means block will be replaced by branch here. Okay. And the summing points or summer are usually replaced by nodes. Okay. So each node in a signal flow graph corresponds to a summer in the block diagram, or each node basically represents a system variable. Okay. Each node is represented by a system variable. Like when we talk about network graphs, there each node represents a system voltage or voltage of that network. So here also, here each node will represent a system variable. System variable in the sense like output C, input R, feedback B, signal E. So each node will be representing any practical signal or any signal. So let us see how we can do this. First node will be representing RS. Okay. Then this signal comes to the second node where another signal is coming, that is -1. This node corresponds to BS. So one node I have made for RS, one node for BS. Now this signal RS is coming with a gain 1. Here BS is coming with a gain -1. So it will become RS minus BS. Okay. So this node would be represented by ES. ES is equal to RS minus BS. Now second node corresponds to CS. Between ES and CS the gain is G. Okay. Now this B is made by C into H. B is equal to CH. So here I will take H. This will give me B. And here I will take gain 1. So it will again give me C. I will give you the reason later why we are taking an additional node for representing C. Here both these branches are basically same. Okay. These are one and the same. So this way also we can represent a system or a control system in terms of signal flow graph. Okay. Here each branch corresponds to a block and each node corresponds to a system variable. So let us see first of all in signal flow graph what are the terminologies that we use and what do they mean. First term that we use is called as a node. Okay. So basically what is a node is, node represents a system variable. Okay. So how many nodes are here in RS, BS, ES and CS. These are the 4 nodes in our system. Each one is representing a system variable or a system signal. Okay. There is a signal in the system which is being represented by a node. And next thing is each node variable is equal to sum of incoming signal. Let me show how it is done. Here this node variable is ES. The incoming signals to this node is RS into 1, and here other incoming signal is BS into -1. So it would be RS minus BS. This is the same equation that we wrote in our block diagram analysis. Okay. So here each node, always remember, is sum of all the incoming signals. Okay. This is a very important point. no matter how much you know signal flow graph, but this is the first basic that we study about signal flow graph. Each node is equal to sum of incoming variable, and I do not care about this branch which is outgoing. Okay, outgoing branch we do not care about, only the incoming branches, and some of those will give me value of the node variable. Next is called as, in terms of node, input node, or it is also called as source node. Okay, input node is something where there are only outgoing branches. Like here, if you see RS, there is only one branch that is outgoing. So the node that has only outgoing branches and no incoming branches will be called as input node. So here RS is input node, only outgoing branches. Similar to the input node, we also define something called as output node. Okay, output node is a node where there are only incoming branches. No outgoing branches, only incoming branches. Now if you see this node here, there is only one branch with a gain 1. So CS is a output node. That is why I have taken an additional node here, because if I were taking this node, it has one incoming branch and one outgoing branch. So this does not classify as an output node. This does not qualify the criteria of saying that a node is an output node, because it has both incoming and outgoing branches. That is why we have to take an additional node which will qualify the criteria of an output node. So I have taken an additional node here. Next is called as mixed node or chain node. Okay, as you might have understood by now, mixed node is something which has both incoming and outgoing branches. Okay, this type of node has both type of branches, like ES. This branch is incoming, this branch is outgoing. So it will be called as mixed node. It has both incoming as well as outgoing branches. So that is why we need to define an output node which has only incoming branches. So we had to take an additional node. Otherwise, it would be a mixed node, not an output node. Next term we call as path. So listen to the definition carefully. It is traversal of the connected branches in the direction of branch arrow. But no branch or no node should be traversed more than once. Like here, if I go from ES to CS, but I have to go in the direction of arrow. So ES to CS is a path. But while taking a path, you must always remember that no node needs to be traversed more than once. Okay. Next is like this path, ES to BS. This is also a path. It is going through ES, then CS, then BS. Here no node is being traversed more than once. Okay. But suppose if I take some path like this, let us say if I take some path like this, that is, if I take ES, then CS, then BS, then ES, then CS. So here ESB is being traveled twice, so this is not a path. So remember, path is nothing but a way of going from one node to the other node, but we need to keep in mind that one node should not be traversed more than once. Okay, so that is the path. Okay, next thing is called as forward path here. Forward path is something, a path that goes from input to output. Okay, input to output path is called as forward path. Like here, if we go via this path, straight path, that is RS, then ES, then CS. This path is called as forward path. Okay, the path that takes us from the input node to the output node will be called as forward path. Next is something called as loop. Loop is a path which has same input and output terminal, or same initiating and terminating point. Like if you see here, this is basically a loop. Okay, That is, we go from ES, then CS, then BS, then again ES. So do not think that we are traveling ES more than once. ES is the initial and the ending point. So we will end here. We will not cross ES node again. Okay, we will end before ES. Just it is to show that initiating and the terminating points are same. I have written ES again. But the loop will end before ES. So loop is something which has both initial and terminating points same. So if you see, if I call loop gain, if I ask you what is loop gain here, it will be G H into -1. So that is minus GH. Okay. So this is my loop. Now in loop also we define something called as self loop. Self loop means loop which is concentrated at only one node. Like if I take a loop here that is from CS to CS, this is called as self loop. Okay. So such sort of self loop are valid at output node. Okay, self loop can be present at output node but not input node. Okay, that is, if I give a self loop here, you will not consider this self loop, or you will have to take an additional input, that is access here. So you have to take an additional input. This self loop cannot be defined at an input node because the criteria for input node is there should be only outgoing branches. But this branch is returning to the input, so it is not an input node. That is why self loop are not defined at input node. But output node also should have only incoming branches. So how we can define it at output node? Because in case of output we can take additional branch like this CS. We can take an additional node and we can keep the gain of the branch as 1. So self loop can be easily defined at output because we can take an additional node. But in case of input, self loop is not defined, and even if it is given in a signal flow graph, you need to take an additional node and consider the system variable as access, not RS. Okay, it will not be RS, it will be access. Access will be something different. The reason is because, let me show you why access and RS are different variables. So suppose if I define a self loop here, okay, let me say the gain is minus H2. Here I am taking access. The equation of RS would be sum of incoming signal. So let me keep it the gain as 1, that is access into 1. But this branch is H2 into RS. Okay, this signal is H2 into RS. So RS 1 plus H2 is equal to X. So X by R is basically, it will be 1 plus H2. That is why X and R are not identical variable. Okay. Next thing we define as non-touching loop. Okay. Non-touching loops are the loops which do not have any common node. That is, suppose I take one loop here and one loop here, let us say. So this loop is concentrated at ES, this is at CS. So they do not have any common node. One loop is at ES, other at CS. So they do not have any common node. These are called as non-touching loops. So non-touching loops are the loops which do not have any common node. Okay. So these are the terms that you need to remember: path, forward path, loop, and non-touching loop. Okay. So let us see how we can analyze a system in terms of these terms, or we can find the transfer function of the system. So that is given by Mason's gain formula. Transfer function is equal to gain is equal to sigma kth forward path into delta k by delta. Pk is gain of kth forward path. Okay, delta is basically 1 minus sum of all loop gains. Form all the possible loops and take the sum of their gains, that is sum of all loop gains, plus sum of gain of product of two non-touching loops. Okay, whichever two loops are non-touching, take the product of their gains and take the sum of all such combinations. Like, let us say loop 1 and loop 3 are non-touching, loop 2 and loop 5 are non-touching. So take L1 L3 plus L2 L5. That is, in like in digital we have SOP. Then again minus sign, sum of gain of product of 3 non-touching loop. Okay, like if I say L1, L3 and L4 have no common node, then L1 into L3 into L4. Then plus, again it will be sum of gain of product of 4 non-touching loops. So it will be like alternatingly plus sign and minus sign, and we will increase the number of non-touching loops. We will go on increasing. Okay. So that is how we will form the delta, but usually delta will be concentrated up to this. The questions that will come in examination will not have 3 non-touching loops, only up to 2 non-touching loops. Last term in this expression is delta k. Delta k is delta excluding loops touched by pk. Okay, in the expression, remove all the loops that are touched by pk or the kth forward path, then it will result in delta k. So let me show this by an example. Suppose this is my system that is given to me. I need to find the gain C by R. So if you see, let me mark the nodes here: A, B, C, D, E, F. So one is, let us take first forward path. That is from input towards the output node. So I can go like this: A, B, E, F. Okay, that is like this. So the gain of this path is, let me call it as P1. It is equal to 1 into 5 into 1, that is 5. Next path I can follow straight like this: A, B, C, D, E, F. The gain would be 1 into 2 into 3 into 4, that is 6 into 4, 24. Okay, that will be 24. Next, these are the only two forward paths from input to output. Next, let us talk about loops. One loop is like this, so it will be loop 1, that is BC, it is minus 2. Loop 2, it is CD, the gain is minus 3. 3 into minus 1, that is minus 3. Loop 3 is DE, the gain is 4 into minus 1, that is minus 4. And other loop is like this. Okay, this loop is like this, that is loop 4, it is equal to B, E, D, C, B. Okay, B, E, D, C, B, it will be 5 into minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1, that is minus 5. So these 4 loops are there. Out of these, if you see, BC and DE do not have any common node. So these two are non-touching. Okay, one is at BC, other is at DE. So that is the benefit of naming the each and every node, because here you can easily see that they do not have any common terminal, or these are non-touching loops. Okay, so let us first form the delta expression. So delta would be 1 minus sum of loop gains. Loop gains were minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Okay, sorry, minus 4, and then one more loop was there, that is minus 5. Okay, next is plus sum of two non-touching loops. Non-touching loops were this, that is 2 into 4, sorry, minus 2 into minus 4. So how much this would be? 5, 4, 9, 5, 14, 8, 22, that is 23. Okay, now let us talk about delta 1, that is for forward path P1. So forward path P1, this one, it touches this loop at this node, it touches second loop also. These two loops are touched. The only non-touching loop is minus 3. So I have to remove this minus 2 and minus 4 loops from here. So it will be minus 3. Okay, I cannot take minus 4, minus 2 or minus 5 loops, because it is touching all these loops. Or otherwise what you can see is, this path is ABEF. Okay, so here B terminal is coming, so it is touching first loop. Here E terminal is coming, so it is touching third loop. Here E terminal is coming, so it is touching fourth loop. But here CD is there, there is no CD in the first forward path. That is, it is not touching this loop. So remove all the loops except this loop. So if I remove all the loops except this loop, so only -3 would remain here, that is 4. Next, talk about delta 2. Next path is A, B, C, D, E, F. So it is touching BC, it is touching CD, it is touching DE, and it is also touching BE, DCB. So it is touching all the loops. If I remove all the loops, it would remain only 1. If I have to remove all the loops, only 1 would remain. So now gain would be forward path is, first forward path gain is 5 into delta 1, that is 5 into 4 plus 24 into 1 upon delta, that is 23. So it will be 44 by 23. So this is how we can calculate gain in the signal flow graph expression. Okay. So what have we learned in this chapter or in this lecture is, what is node, what is path, what is forward path, okay, what is a loop, and last we saw Mason's gain formula. Okay, these all terms we have learned. So in the next lecture, I'll show you some problems, how signal flow graph is asked in GATE examination and how you can tackle the problems, because this is a very important concept. Every year you can expect one question from the signal flow graphs. And since this is a graphical technique, it is very easy to learn and easy to implement. So in the next lecture, we'll see some problems based on this.